So, you're dating a nerd. Cool. And with Valentine's Day right around the corner, I just wanted to give you guys some tips to keep your nerd ship a-sailin'. I have compiled a list of a few things that you should keep in mind while dating your nerd. When I say your nerd, it sounds like I'm talking about a pet. We are not pets. Anyway, just to be clear that these are my general experiences with being and or dating nerds. First off, try to understand their need for technology. This includes laptop, smartphone, anything that they can use to get information. Where do you want to go for dinner? How do we get there? Do you want to check Redbox before actually driving all the way to the Redbox? Without missing a beat, your nerd will probably have their wireless device out ready with an answer for you in a matter of seconds. And while I will say that access to this sort of information that quickly enhances the conversation, I do understand where people want to draw a line between social interaction and having the smartphones out all the time. If you see it happening a little too often, don't be afraid to say, hey, can we have like an internet-free couple hours? There's this game that you can play when you're with a group of people. Everybody put their phone in the middle of the table, and whoever reaches for their phone first has to pay for everyone. Nerds usually lose at that game, though. Find websites that you both love and surf them together. Your nerd probably spends a good deal of their free time online, and if you're watching this video, odds are you do too. You can make up a cute little ritual, like finding a comedy site that you both like and surfing it together. I can assure you that your nerd will love nothing more than cuddling up with you and a laptop and browsing questionable content, or Cyanide and Happiness, or Tumblr, if you're into that sort of thing. Step into their world, because if you're serious about this relationship, you want to learn about the things that they love. And yes, this means venturing into their scary little world of nerddom. If your nerd is a chemistry nut, brush up on your chemistry. If they love computers, read a couple Wikipedia pages about computers. If they're a Star Trek fanatic, learn the difference between Next Generation, the original series, and Voyager. Not only will it give you more to talk about, it'll actually show them that you're interested in learning more about the things that they love. A girlfriend once asked me about the Doctor's companions, like if they were all his girlfriends, and so I went into this whole big explanation, and then she was asking about Rose Tyler, and as far as I knew, she hadn't watched any Doctor Who stuff other than my stuff, and I thought to myself, wow, she's actually like doing research about stuff that I really care about. That's awesome. Okay, this one is my favorite. Start a playful fanboy argument. iPhone or Android, Mac or PC, Xbox or PlayStation, odds are your nerd has strong opinions about some of those. I mean, they're rather timeless debates, and it shouldn't be too hard to pick up on which ones they love. If they're an Android lover like myself, make some passing comment about wanting to go down to the Verizon store and picking up an iPhone. Then sit back and enjoy while they list off all the reasons you should not get an iPhone and all the reasons why Android phones are better. Then, after they step off their high horse, tell them that their impassioned, well-informed argument changed your mind. That will make their week. Very important. Share your passions with them. There are a bunch of different kinds of nerds, but one thing that they all have in common is that they're very passionate about something. Don't worry if it doesn't mesh with their interests or that you think that it wouldn't make sense to them. It could be baking, hiking, neuroscience, vintage video games, miniature Doctor Who figures, old cameras, European politics, playing Skyrim, playing Fallout. It really doesn't matter because nerds just care that you're passionate about something. This is another really important one. Be prepared to explain. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, but I'm dating the nerd. Why should I have to explain anything? Unless you're dating somebody who specializes in facts about everything, there are probably some things that you know a lot more about than your nerd does. Nerds tend to specialize in just a few areas of expertise, like computers or Doctor Who, which means that from time to time you might have to explain something that you're knowledgeable about, like cars or football, or why you have to go clothes shopping all the time, and why you have so many shoes and stuff. If the nerd is really serious about being in the relationship with you, they're not just gonna blow off these other subjects or think that their vast knowledge is far superior, but don't belittle them if they don't know much about the stuff that you're trying to explain to them, or act like they're totally weird for not knowing it. Nerds generally really like to learn, so let us know stuff. And finally, be direct. Nerds definitely value honesty and directness. Don't expect that they'll know exactly what's wrong just by you scrunching your forehead. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but you get my point. Also, most nerds tend to want to find a solution to a problem, so if you just want to vent about your day and not have, like, solutions thrown at you, let them know before you talk. Just be like, hey, I just need to vent, and this happened. Be honest and keep it real. Enough said. And I know some of you are like, but Travis, I am not dating a nerd, but I would like to. How will I go about doing that? If you're watching this video, you've probably accepted some part of your nerddom. Remember, nerds are just people who are just really passionate about something. And my advice for you to find a nerd to do nerdy things with is just be confident and keep doing what you're doing. Odds are you are meeting people all the time by doing things that you like doing. And if you meet somebody through something that you like doing, bam, you already have that in common. I knew a girl who hated running, but for 2 weeks she went jogging for the sole purpose of meeting a guy. And he was really nice, but she broke up with him after a few weeks because his passion was running, something that she hated. Go outside of your comfort zone and think outside the box, but not to where it's not fun anymore. And if you've never dated a nerd, give it a shot. We're generally intelligent, we'll treat you really well, and some of us can even fix your computer. So, yeah. So, you're dating a nerd. That inflection makes it sound like it's a bad thing. And real quick, before somebody in the comments is like, oh, hey, that's an iPhone. You said that you were anti-iPhone but pro-Android. It's an iPod. I'm pro-iPod, I'm anti-iPhone.